What's a question that we can ask you, or
Yeah.
what's a question that you enjoy answering, or what's a question that we can ask you that would reveal really interesting things about you?
About me? You can ask me any question. I'm a pretty open book, I
No,
try
but
to-
like I'm wondering because I mean,
Yeah.
we've never. It's kind of a very meta in the sense of like interview and interviewer.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can think of a question that we can ask you in the sense
Yeah.
of it would reveal something that we would
Yeah.
otherwise get revealed.
Yeah. You could ask me, what else do you do in life apart from your professor job and this podcast?
What else do you do besides?
There you go. I'll give you a short answer to that. So I love music.
Oh,
So
same.
yeah, so I've hosted here. There is a community radio station here, WEFT 90.1 FM in downtown Champaign. When I was an assistant professor here, just a couple of years here, I got involved with that community and I started hosting a show there. The show is called East of Zero. I play music from all lands east of 0 degrees longitude. That's why it's called East of Zero. But it's also intended to be very uplifting music, so it's a double play on words there. So it's Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night, 10 p.m. through 12 a.m. Everyone can listen to it. It's free. It's available online. You can also listen to past couple of weeks of recorded shows. Just search for East of Zero on Google or whatever. That's one thing I do on the side. I also try to learn like new musical instruments every few years. And so that's something that I used to do as a child. I learned some instruments, but never as a professional. I'm not a professional in any of the instruments that I've tried. But then off late, I think I've tried to pick up more instruments. And a couple of years ago, so this is right before the pandemic actually. There's actually quite a few musicians in our department, the computer science department. Some faculty, quite a few students, a few postdocs. So we actually got together and we said, let's have a band. And so we created a band. And we created a band for a particular occasion, which was the visit days of our grad students. So these were prospective grad students we had admitted who were visiting. This is March 2020, like right before the pandemic.
Before.
In fact, it's the last in-person event in our department before we all went fully online. Our department head still tells me that. And so we practiced for actually quite a few weeks. I think there were like 8 or 9 musicians. Our band was called Virtually There, but we were in person. And so we performed in the Maze restaurant, which is in downtown Champaign. We rented out the entire restaurant for the group of visiting students, who were about 100 or 100 odd students. And we performed a set of about, I think 40 minutes.
Wow.
7 or 8 songs. I was playing the ukulele and the vocals. And then there were a couple of musicians who are like professional musicians, guitarist, and then one of my colleagues who is a trumpet player, and a few others. But the interesting thing of that was that we did songs. We actually rewrote song lyrics to make them more engineering and computer sciencey lyrics. So every single song had completely new lyrics intended to be funny, but the tunes were like the well-known tune. So, for instance, one of the algorithms I teach in class is called the Lamport timestamps algorithm. So I rewrote "You Are My Sunshine" lyrics to essentially capture the pseudocode of the algorithm. The video is there on YouTube.
Right.
Anyone can watch it, and it's actually one of probably my most liked video at this point. But I think I've also heard students actually listen to that just to remember, okay, this is what the algorithm does, so like an exam question, right? So that's one of my things that I kind of started doing. I don't know what led me to do that, but only over the last like 5 or 6 years, it's something new I discovered. Where I would listen to a song and be like, yeah, that song, that sounds like I could rewrite it for some other purpose. Like there was a song, a very famous song called "Stuck in the Middle," very old 80s, 90s song. So listening to that song, I'm like, okay, that kind of describes my experience of reviewing papers. Let me just rewrite that song lyrics in terms of a researcher reviewing papers. And again, that's on YouTube as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that's kind of, music is my passion. That's one of the other things I like to do on the side. Short answer to your